guess who recorded 2 videos before she realized that the mic was not plugged in? Hey guys, I am Colleen. I'm a person. I like to read and I like to write, but I do whatever on this channel. And today, I thought I would go through my recent, as in the past week, search history on YouTube and talk about the things that I've seen and my very brief take on these things, because there's a lot going on right now, both YouTube and just current event related. Initially, I did this whole thing explaining that I have to be asleep early because I have a thing tomorrow that I just cannot. At this point, I can't sleep because I'm too upset that I recorded those 2 videos and recorded essentially no audio for either of them, because that's just how it goes sometimes. The past week, I watched a lot of queso, of course. I'm trying to cut back on all the queso content that I've been watching. Not because it's not good, of course, it's so good. But I've been having dreams about like survival situations where I have to like really, really run, and I end up waking up still exhausted. And I am attributing that to all the horror games that I've been watching because of queso's content. I have not heard anybody say get them diapers on, it's spooky time in my dreams, so I think this is a mild to moderate case. I'm still watching, but it's just I've cut back a little bit just to calm things down up in here. And what else? I've always watched a lot of Penguin Zero's content. A lot of even things that I've watched before and I just let play because it's on autoplay and it just keeps, and I'll still watch it. And I've been learning a lot of things actually that are so far removed from what I know, like crypto, like rug pools and pump and dump schemes, and that whole area of the internet and of digital media. I've been learning about just a lot of like gaming. I'm not a gamer by any means. I don't like games where I am rushed or fighting for my life. That's why I prefer the sort of games that queso streams, because they're not, I mean, to a degree they're time sensitive as well, but they're more storytelling type games, walking simulators, gas station, grocery, anomaly type games. They're not like World of Warcraft, League of Legends, but I've been learning a lot about that as well just because of Charlie's content. So many things that I should not know about. I mean, wouldn't have known about is what I mean. Even the Stop Killing Games movement, which from what I have and from what I just the content that I've seen about it, this might be divisive, but I think it's a good, as an outsider who is not a gamer, I think it's a good initiative. Another thing that I watched, this might be old, but there's an Asmongold video where he reacts to Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean, speech about not legally persecuting people who are like offensive and are prone to making like insults or anything like that. And I think it's such a good speech. It's only like 3 minutes long, Rowan Atkinson's speech, and his whole thing is like, in order for us to have a robust society, we shouldn't tamp down these things through the legal process, because that eliminates it, that prohibits people from having an opinion that differs from our own, or from the opinion of the general public. So that, in essence, stifles ideas that are opposing or contrary to what is the general consensus. And he said that in order for us to have a robust society, we must learn to accept and be in the presence of, as I said, opinions that differ, insults. He indicated some examples of people getting jailed because they had this and that opinion. It's a good speech. I also fell into the Clara Dow situation, and I watched a bunch of videos on it. I forgot the other ones, and why is this just repeating? But I distinctly remember watching an internet anarchist video on it, and how it came off to me, just my opinion, outsider. I'm not very much acquainted with the type of content that this creator does, but I believe that she's a body positivity influencer. And how it came off to me based on the internet anarchist video is that maybe right from the off, maybe she wasn't that opposed to enhancement procedures in the first place. But once she made that video about the proud to have flat-chested, be a flat-chested girly or something, and once she had that video and people saw her as this sort of role model for that ideology, she was compelled to keep creating content like that. And I think she did not intend to be a role model of any kind. I mean, no one ever intends to like be a role model, and sometimes you just find yourself in that situation, in that position. But I think she didn't mean it. For her in particular, really, really didn't mean it, and she just wanted to make something like, yes, positive, but she didn't mean for it to blow up to that extent, to the point where she was sort of compelled to create video after video after video, hammering down that point and that kind of content, because she was seen as the be all end all of body positive movement for skinny girlies. And yeah, maybe right from the off, she wasn't that resistant to any sort of enhancement operation in the first place. There are some nuance to the issue where, of course, she was a bit smug about it, I think, after she did all that. Of course, people felt betrayed, but I think even more so when she started posting, like, sort of smug videos. It became a little bit more complex, but I think generally that's my opinion on it, that she didn't mean to be a role model and she was just sort of swept in the wave of being a body positive influencer. Okay, another thing that I fell into the rabbit hole of is the pictures in the Disney bathroom by this trans creator. I just had so many thoughts about it. I watched an Asmongold commentary of another video. I think the channel is called Think Before You Sleep. So this is a bit meta now because I'm commenting on a commentary of a commentary, and I will keep it brief, but no matter what gender you identify, I don't think you're allowed to do inappropriate things in public or in a public setting. A public restroom is a public setting. If I talked about explicit things in an open seating dining area, in an environment where there is a high probability of children hearing what I'm saying, I would get arrested. I would still get arrested. And being a woman is not licensed to do whatever you want. Let's not weaponize our womanhood to be mean and rude to people. And regulations are still regulations, even if you're a woman. Varying degrees of age appropriateness exist for whatever gender. I mean, I don't know why people do this. I think it's so harmful to the LGBT plus, what they're trying to achieve, that community, what they're trying to achieve. As was mentioned in the commentary video, if an average person who is not acquainted with a lot of people of the LGBT plus community see this and sort of generalize. It becomes their only point of reference of trans people. And that is so heartbreaking. And it's so sad. And sometimes it even becomes like a catalyst for even more restriction and more hate towards them. And it's so wrong and so heartbreaking for the people who are just trying to live their life and be seen and be valued as human beings. And it's so... I also saw on a Tozy video about a TikToker, a medical professional, working on the heads of patients, which is outrageous and so wrong on so many levels. Like, imagine if that was your loved one and they're not necessarily lucid all the time, and for someone to take advantage of your loved one and use them for like a TikTok stunt. Someone who's so vulnerable and would need like round the clock care to be exposed to such a person who would take advantage of them in such a way is so scary. That's my take on that. These are not hot takes by any means. I've also, of course, heard a lot about the Diddy verdict. As an outsider who is not from the US and am not well versed by any means in US law, to me, in my opinion, it's giving people will get outraged if you're let off scot-free. So let's just choose the least harmful charge of all these. That's how it's coming off to me. That's just my opinion in my outsider brain. I don't know. I saw the video of Cassie getting really hurt in that hotel lobby public setting, because that's the lobby, no, the hotel like hallway, that's public space, and you're just getting like kicked around like that. I don't know how anybody can see that and think that there is no fault here. Who will watch that video and say that that is a good person, that is a morally upright person? I don't know what at this point can be done, because I don't know if there's any like reappeals of any kind that's going to happen here, but I don't know. I'm just thinking of that woman who Cassie, who mustered the courage so many years later to stand up and say her piece. And of course she must have gone through a lot to heal from that and to reopen that for the sake of this case, because she had to talk about it again and relive all those things again, and then to hear about a verdict like that is a bit, I don't know, it's sad. A lot of sad things are happening. This stuff might be... Oh, Jeff Bezos is wedding. So many celebrities. And I thought the same thing about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's wedding. Are they actually friends with all these people? I mean, no shade of they're really your friends, but I don't know, it just seems like a lot of celebrities, and I'm just wondering where their cherished friends and family are. I don't know. Maybe there is some level of, I don't know, networking going on there, I suppose, or some sort of publicity. I'm just like, you can see how like I'm losing it. It's just rattling in there like an empty piggy bank, because I do not have any hope of understanding how rich people do things. And yeah, from an average person's perspective, I would hope that they included friends and family and people who are important to them and they cherish with them on their special day. I hope you guys learned something from this. And I hope that if you are like me, someone who is very not aware about things that are going on YouTube related, and just current event related in general, this has been informative to you in some way, unless this is all actually really old and information and I'm just learning about them now. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you are okay, and like, comment, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.